you're going for an expired domain. What do you do, right? So one of the first things, and this makes it really hard, is I really love Majestic, this Majestic metric, and you don't have to use Spamzilla. You can use whatever you want. I'm just saying. But one of the first things that I'm going to do is I want to at least make sure that the topics, right? So the topic of the website and the links, more importantly, that are coming in are on topic. So if I'm a business website, right, or if I'm doing e-com or anything along those lines, then I'm probably looking for the light green ones, right? So probably these ones. See, business. I've done a lot of advertising in business type sites. Services, right? If you're in real estate, you probably want red. See how these are recreation? This is home and family. This right here is shopping. This is computers, business services, right? The first step is make sure that it's on topic. The next thing that you want to look at is going to be the referring domains, right? So make sure that you have a strong referring domain count. If you're buying expired domains from a vendor, they base the price of the domain should be, I know that branding plays a part in it, age plays a small part, but at the end of the day, you should be paying per referring domain. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, okay? So, and if it's way over that, then I don't know where you're buying them, right? But that's usually about where it's at, okay? With that being said, so we're on topic. We have a nice high amount of referring domains. So you're probably wondering, well, what domain count should I go for? Well, this is what I usually do. I usually come inside of here, and I don't really care where it comes from. I prefer these over here. I'll deselect these. I'm going for the top TLDs. I'm going to come in here to the trust flow. I usually type in about 40, and then I'll apply the filter. So what I want to do is I want a high trust flow with a high referring domain count. But let's just say that we actually found one that we really like. So what should you be doing next? Well, as long as the anchor texts coming in are relatively clean or about the website, they're not too crazy or too heavily leaning towards what it was previously, then we can move into the next step, which is checking the Wayback Machine. Now, this particular tool will make it easy. If you come in here to the SZ score and you click on this, it'll show you the Wayback Machine snippets right there on the fly. But if you don't have this tool, and maybe you're doing it manually or with Scrapebox or with DomCop or some other tool, you might want to check the web archive, okay? And on the web archive, what you're looking for is a lot of people are going to say, you don't want it to be, about anything XXX or pharma or anything related like that. And that's true. But what I really like is, I don't want that. I don't want it to be anything safe search filtered. But what I'm also looking for is how many owners have had this website? How many times has it changed hands? It's almost like buying a car. When you buy a car, who takes care of the car the best? The first owner, the second owner, or the third owner, right? Well, it depends on the car, depends on the person, but normally, if you buy a car brand new, that's your baby. You get it for its oil changes all the time. You take good care of it. You love it. It would only had one owner, right? And it's been passed on. I drove it 20,000 miles. I've moved it on to the next buyer, okay? It's just broken in. It's good to go. That's kind of like the domains. I want to make sure that the guy who had it loved it. He cherished it. It was his baby. It was one owner. It was about one piece of content. He took his time. He only built quality links. It didn't pass a lot of hands. It wasn't used for something else. It had one owner. It was their baby. Who knows what happened? I got it. Now I have something. It's in the right category. It has a good amount of referring domains. The anchor text is on point. And it's only had one owner, right? See where we're going here? Now what's next? Well, what do I do? What do I do about the pages? How do I get those links? Well, let's say, for instance, you have a site like this. So referring domains, we're going to go to the highest one. So this one had 299. Let's just say, I'm not saying that this is a good one, but maybe it is. But here's what I would do. You grab this, and I just did this. I had a client. I won't say the niche, but he was a counselor. Long story short, we went through this process. This is how we did it. I've done this, I don't know, probably 80 times. All right. In the last, so we started since January, 80 times at least. Definitely 80 times since January. All right. So I've had quite a bit of practice at this. And that was just this year. But the next step is this. So say you want this page, you've done all those past checks that we just talked about. The next thing is you go over here to the domain overview inside SEMrush. This is the tool that I like to use for this. But here, we'll go in here to backlink analytics. Let me just make sure it should be on that first page. It might be on this page. Here we are. All right. Depending on how you set up your tool, you can move this. But anyway, this is what you're looking for. See your top pages here? These are the pages that you want to recreate. Okay. So if you take a look at this, you can see here that this is the HTTP, HTTPS. So you're going to forward the HTTP to the HTTPS. So you'll initiate that first 301. So, okay, we got those. And then our next best pages, you want to rebuild them. Now, when I say rebuild them when we're first indexing, what you want to do is this. You're going to recreate this. In this case, I would only build these 3 pages. But more notably, because this one's an HTTP, I'm just going to 301 HTTP, this page, over, oh wait, is this a different page? www? Oh, it's www. You're going to redirect this to the root domain, right? So then you're going to build out maybe this page and this page, all right? I'm not saying build out every single page, but let's just say that you end up building out 3 pages. So what we do is we'll build out those pages exactly how they were, meaning the URL, okay, and the title of the page and the H1 are how they previously were. And no matter how many pages that you recreate from the existing site, you have to re-theme the same amount of pages. So if I build 3 that were previously there, I want to build out 3 more on new URLs, right? Same website.com/new URL, new URL, the same amount of what I'm previously building. I'm re-theming, okay? Then the next step, okay, after I get those pages up, is you want to come in here, go to your backlinks of the entire website, go to your follow links, or all, depending on what you're using. Usually I'll go in here and go to all, follow, and then export the entire list of backlinks, not referring domains, all the backlinks. Every single backlink that was previously there, get that export, come on over to SynBite. That's SINBYTE. Go to SynBite, give it to SynBite. Let them index the previous backlinks. Once that's done, now I have the old pages, I have the old links indexed, I have the equal amount of pages to my old pages, right? And then give it time. Just give it time. Now, once your link report comes back, you have one job to do and one job only. You need to create one more page, just one more. And what you want to know is after all those links are crawled, after you start getting your first initial traffic from the previous pages and the new pages, right? Your first trickle of traffic, all the links have been indexed, you got your link report back, you want to create one page. And what you want to know is, does that page instantly index? Does that page instantly show up? And if the answer is yes, now you can move forward. If the answer is no, get rid of the domain. Well, at least for whatever you're about to do. Because if that page doesn't instantly index for some weird keyword, right now, like a hard term, but something you're going for that's a low volume, does it at least show up in the top 50 results? Does it at least show up in the top 3 pages? Like, remember, you built out this last page, all the links are there. Your previous pages are there. You've re-indexed all the links. It's starting to already get traffic for the past stuff in the new pages, right? You've already started the flow. Now you've created one good page and you want to know, does Google reward this site? More importantly, also this page. The answer is yes, then keep building on the site. All right. I don't generally recommend just 301ing the whole site. You know, the days of that, does it work? It's hit or miss. It's 50-50. And you don't want to just buy a site randomly off Spamzilla that a million people looked at, right? Like, it's clearly been indexed. Google clearly knows that that site's down. You probably want to find it from somebody private that's had the site parked or something like that, or it's up on a network, like it's not publicly known. It's got a lot of referring domains. It fits your category. It's a high quality site, right? You don't want to just take that, though, and 301 the whole thing over because you're not 100% sure you don't know what happened to that site.